I know these people. Like deranged Jack Smith. This is a deranged individual.
What does Jack Smith have to do? Jack Smith was at The Hague and then was brought in as the prosecutor as a special prosecutor against you. So there wouldn't be they could guarantee a level of fairness in it.
See, he's going to release an.
Oh, by the way, he thinks Jack Smith is deranged because he has a scraggly beard. Just for the record, that's 100% why deranged Jack Smith. He saw a picture of him because if you ever heard Jack Smith speak, he's very quiet, very direct. I mean, he writes, in his filings, very strongly worded indictments and the like. But that's how they're all written, and they're written by a group of people. They're put together by the entire team, and he signs off on it because he's the primary on it. But they put these giant indictments together.
Another manifesto. I mean, is this guy is absolutely
before the election?
I've never seen anything like it. This is like tyranny.
And the judge is allowing
hammer sickle stuff.
And the judge is allowing him to do it, and it's not even believable. This guy is a sick puppy. And they're going to release something else, and always before the election. They want to do it before the election. Yeah. So election interference. Now.
Don't worry, asshole. There's going to be a bunch of shit after you lose too. Most of the stuff that's coming out will come out after this motherfucker goes to jail. The first time.
It's a terrible thing.
On the 23rd.
What's happening, and the judges. This judge is the most evil person.
I never see anything like it.
You're a lunatic. This asshole got a colonoscopy from Vladimir Putin in a private room with no other translators present. He hung out with fucking Mohammed bin Salman. He had dinner with Kim Jong-un, who actively, he's got concubines, he starves his own people to death or whatever, and he's getting every opportunity, even more so than anybody else, to defend himself in court. He's got lawyers. He's not, he's getting to file multiple revisions of things. His timeline on stuff is way more giving and charitable than any other defendant in fucking history, and he's like, these people are evil. Fucking stop whining, you whingy little bitch.
They all said, well, make sure you don't get Yudkin. And who did I get?
Oh, did they?
I got Yudkin. I got Yudkin.
It's a real prize.
It's all right. Because, it has to get approved by lots of different people. Yeah. But they said, make sure you don't get Yudkin. Well, I have nothing to do with it. So.
You could have your people, I guess, file to have her recused, but you don't have a reason.
So, they supposedly pick balls, right? It's not. I don't think it works that way, but that's what they say.
Sorry. They what? They pick what?
I have nothing to do with it. So, they supposedly pick balls, right?
Hi. I'm not this. Thank you. That's very nice. It's very nice. Yeah. It's very nice. It's a good one.
Maybe we can light an election check.
Summer just walked in and gave me this. It smells like freedom.
It's coconut, I think.
Yes, it's definitely. Yeah, it's because you fall out of the coconut tree, and yeah, it's a reference to that. Yeah, I'm for it. Coconut and Centol. Yeah. Thank you. That's very sweet. I'll burn it in. Thank you. I got a Kamala scented candle. Hold on one second. I have so much shit in my desk and I don't have a lighter. What the hell? Hold. I'll leave you to it. Talk amongst yourselves 1 second. Hi, Maddie. Hi. What's it good? Huh? Yeah. I got one. Hi, Maddie. What's doing? What's doing? You okay? Damn. Okay, she ran away. I tried to trap her. I tried to bring you guys a cat, but This is my birthday candle that I'm lighting for everybody who's already voted. And we'll put it right here, and hopefully when I'm pushing my buttons later, I won't set my arm on fire. Yeah. So Trump, something about picking balls. That's where we left off last. Yeah. What's this again? They pick. Okay. By the way, what he means is they're supposed to just fuck me. They're supposed to just say. The phrase is judges are just supposed to, the SCOTUS or the higher level judges, just call balls and strikes. Just call balls and strikes. That's the phrase. Just like hunky dory and peachy keen.
Make sure you don't get Chutkin. And who did I get? I got Chutkin. I got Chutkin. It's all right.
A real prize.
It's all right. Because, it has to get approved by lots of different people. Yeah. But they said, make sure you don't get Chutkin. Well, I have nothing to do with it. So, they supposedly pick balls, right? It's not. I don't think it works that way, but that's what they say. That's the way it's supposed to be.
No. No one says that. No one says they pick balls. Nobody says that. Nobody says they pick bulls. You moulignants, you moron. They don't pick bulls. They call balls and strikes, and when they do it right, everything is peachy keen or groovy shoes. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with this guy. They don't pick balls. You pick your balls. Go wash yourself, you nasty old fart.
You pick out of a hat, and that's the judge. But they said,
wait, you pick. I'm sorry. How did the balls get in the hat? Why are your balls in a hat? What are you talking about? Are you saying that the top of Bongholio's head looks like somebody's scrotum stuffed into a hat?
Well, you don't want Chutkin, that's for sure, and you got Chutkin.
Every ballot in a hat had Chutkin on it.
Well, think of it. What judge would do that? Forget about deranged Jack Smith. Right. A judge is supposed to keep it in check. What judge would say, we're going to release something, a couple of days before?
By the way, would you...
Well, they would have released it earlier this year if you didn't fucking fight everything, you weirdo.
You have almost no ability to respond to. He could be making this up. Everyone in our system is innocent till proven guilty, not guilty till proven innocent. Yeah. It's disgraceful.
It's an amazing thing. Well,
you know what?
Yeah, but nothing in that. It's just evidence, or it isn't. You can rebut it, right? Yeah? It's not like they fucking posted his private phone number. There's a shit ton of stuff in it that's redacted by the judge in it. So what's the issue? Is that the evidence looks bad, Bongholio? Is that the problem? Hey, asshole, guess what? Trump's not only on the Epstein flight logs, he's on the Epstein call logs up till 2005. They talked all the time. Years after he said, I don't like that guy anymore. Right?
I got so much I want to. Can I ask you a different question?
No, because it's hard to believe, right?
It is. It's hard to believe. Like even the CNN legal analyst, what's his name? That Honey guy was like, "This is really unprecedented." That's CNN. They don't even like it.
Did he say that about this one?
He said it about 3 weeks ago when Jack Smith released the first. You look it up. I'm pretty sure it was Honig, but it was definitely on CNN. And he was, I think, a federal prosecutor. And he said, "I've never seen anything like this."
Right, but you've never seen another like a plaintiff in a civil trial or a criminal defendant have as many punts as this motherfucker gets. The reason it's happening right before the election is because Trump and his team kept punting all this shit. If they'd have dealt with it last year, if it was all bullshit, why not just jump on it with both feet?
Where the prosecutor gets to release an uncontested memo with unproven charges, not...
No. Okay. All indictments are unproven charges. That's what a fucking indictment is. The appendix to the indictment itself is the details that led them to making the charge in the first place. These have been redacted. So you're not even seeing all of it. You're just seeing the primary aspect of it. And so that people don't think that this is just done politically, and it should be part of the public record. That's how our court system works. This asshole has gotten a pass on all of that. He's been able to hide all of the information where no other defendant would be able to do that.
Not in a courtroom, but basically a campaign document.
Right.
It was the most obscene thing. This, again, CNN, which, let's be honest, they hate your guts. And they're putting that on the, that's how bad this guy is.
The legal...
Also, it's somebody on a fucking panel that's giving the alternate view on something is what CNN does, you dumb motherfucker. That's what makes them actually fair and balanced compared to Fox. Fox has fair and balanced trademarked. You know why? Do you know why Fox has fair and balanced trademarked? Do you think if they used it, anybody else would use it at the same time as their byline? No. You know why they have it trademarked? Because trademarks don't have to be true. Coke is life is not true. But it's trademarked, and a trademark is no longer a lie. It doesn't have to be backed up. It's just a fucking, it's just words organized however you want. Little, yellow, different, right? That's trademarked. All of that is relative. None of it has to be materially true. Even the color of, you're like, they're orange, right? Little, yellow, different. Doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't have to be true, right? A slogan can be a fucking lie.
Analyst for CNN, he's the top guy, has been against all of this. He said Trump did nothing wrong. I'm so amazed. I'm more impressed with that than anything else I've seen on CNN. But, you know, because you'd think they'd try and...
What? Hold on. Who is he? I don't see who he mentioned. Give me 1 second.
Release an uncontested memo with unproven charges.
Again, it's not a memo, you dumb motherfucker. It's the appendix that contains the evidence used in the preceding indictment.
Not in a courtroom, but basically
it's hundreds of pages.
Campaign document.
Right.
It was the most obscene thing. This, again, CNN, which, let's be honest, they hate your guts. And they're putting that on the, that's how bad this guy is.
The legal analyst for CNN, he's the top guy, has been against all of this. He said Trump did nothing wrong.
Okay. This is another example of Trump hearing someone else say something and then repeating it back to them as if it's a new piece of information to them.
I'm so amazed. I'm more impressed with that than anything else I've seen on CNN.
He hasn't seen it.
But, you know, because you'd think they'd try and stop him.
Yeah.
Who?
He is one of the biggest guarders of the Constitution. I mean, he
Oh, yeah? Who?
really is. He's a great lawyer. He said, this is really unfair.
What was that guy's name again? That guy. What was his name? Say it. He's the top guy at CNN. You're under indictment, you dumb motherfucker. Say his name. Who?
But think of it, right before the election. Now, I don't even know what it says. This is made up by other people. It has nothing to do with me.
It has everything to do with you. It's not made up by other people. It's actually documentation. It's the appendix of all the evidence and all that they can show that's not classified that shows you were engaged with the people that put on January 6th, not just the gathering at the Ellipse, but the gathering where you gave your speech and the plan to get people to march down there, the organization that brought the Proud Boys there for standing back and standing by, that showed them showing up in buses, $3 million spent through the campaign.
And you don't even get a right to answer?
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. What was stopping you? You could have filed something and said, this is prejudicial. We don't want this out there, and file that as, you know, and you didn't. So why? Because you know you'd fail because it's not true, or because you're stupid, or because you only hire the worst fucking lawyers in the world because you're going on like their tits or how good they look on a fucking billboard.
It is, see, that's election interference right there. That's cheating on an election.
How many stories have they told about you that are so? Remember you beat up the Secret Service driver? We used to laugh about that on my show because I know the people.
So that's now been proven to be
that
false.
you tackled. You you gave him a triangle choke from the back of the car.
All right, again, this is like a lesson in how Bongino lies. Bongino, what he does is he hyper-exaggerates the story, which was Trump insisted they take him down to the Capitol, they drive him down there, and they said no. And Trump grabbed one of them by the shirt collar like this, basically just reached up and did that. You know, and was he going to punch the dude in the face? No, he's a complete wuss. Does he think he could? Maybe. Was he crazed and losing his fucking mind when that happened? Very possibly. He's an asshole. And it's totally self-involved. He also thinks that he can hit these guys and they can't hit back. Understand that, too. Understand that there is no fucking way anybody on his Secret Service detail can defend himself against Trump with everything they have. Never fucking happened. Never. Because literally, if Trump wanted to punch one of these fucking guys, they would just have to take it. Especially if they're on his, like, personal detail. So the idea that he, like, when you're going to take me down, you fucker, like that, and he went like that. Now, he didn't put him in a fucking triangle chokehold, you asshole. Nobody even suggested that. But by suggesting that, it's like, that's ridiculous. I know it's ridiculous. You made it up. You fucking made it up. Yes, and the Secret Service phone logs were erased, which is where those guys talked about it.
You're a pretty talented guy.
Well, a lot of people said, don't dispute that, sir. It makes you look very tough and strong. No, they say I went to the man to the right who's a weightlifter and like 30 years old, and then the man to the right who's supposed to be a great karate expert.
Right.
I decided to go for him, and I got him around the neck.
Use your skills, right?
And this was a woman who... I think the testimony is all now gone. So what happened?
The testimony is all now gone?
To me, here's one of the greatest scandals.
Oh, is this going to be they erased all the information from the Jan 6 stuff?
The Unselect Committee of Political Hacks. Cheney, all these people.
Yeah.
Cheney is, you know, they say, we have a Republican. The Republican is Cheney, and then they have kissing, crying.
Yeah, he's always crying.
I've never seen him when he's not crying.
All the time with that guy.
They call him crying at him, kissing. He cries every time, you know.
It's also Kinzinger, not Kissinger. You're thinking of Henry Kissinger, you weirdo. Also, where the fuck is the crying from? He does this with several people. He tries to use the crying thing for 3 or 4 people, and none of these people are. I don't even recall most of them crying once, much less all the time.
He's so desperate. He's a sick puppy.
Right?
Those are the two.
Also, sick puppy is Trump's new phrase. It seems harmless, but it's also sick dog. It's also puppy is weaker than dog. Sick as a dog. Like, you could tell that he uses certain phrases because they belittle and lessen someone. But this one's just lame. It doesn't quite land. He does it all the time. Sick puppy.
Republicans, okay?
Yeah.
So
he started doing it recently.
The bipartisan committee,
right.
They were much worse than any Democrat. The Democrats were nothing. So anyway, the head of it, Benny Thompson,
he's
a real
gem.
beauty, he decided to destroy all evidence of this 1.5-year trial.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Everything is gone.
No, it isn't.
Reason is because...
Hold on one second, if I may. Give me 1 second, because it takes a long time for this to load. Okay, here you go. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may, at govinfo.gov, select January 6th committee final report supporting materials collection. This is the actual final report. You can read it there. You can get the text in the PDF. Supporting materials in the court documents. There you go. There's supporting materials documents on file with the committee. These are all these. Lots of them. Here's all the correspondence and back and forth. Supporting materials select committee hearing videos. These are the videos they played. These are the supporting materials transcribed. These are the transcriptions of all the interviews. They did not keep videos because no one in this has been, of anybody that wasn't charged with a crime. So you just have the transcribed interview, all of which is under oath, all of which cannot be modified without an act of Congress. And there's fucking pages and pages and pages of this shit. This is just the GovInfo site, supporting materials, video exhibits. These are the exhibits. These are the ones they played. Behind the scenes on election night, how the Red Mirage was exploited, what close aides told the president. All this shit's on here, okay? None of it's gone. All of it's archived. There it is. What the close aides told the president. I just downloaded that file. Hold on one second. And it's still, yeah, it's still downloading. It'll take a while. It's a big one. Because they're full. And then here you go. This is records related to the request for presidential records by the House Select Committee to investigate January 6th attack on the United States Capitol. These are all the other files, his executive orders, his letters to all these folks. There's a PDF reader if you don't have one. And then, of course, you can download all of them. Then, of course, there's this is the Internet Archive version of everything, which is still available for the record. So what I'm trying to say is horseshit. It's they have all of it. I don't know where the fuck. Maggots, explain to me what the fuck he's talking about. There's the TV news at archive. There's all the. These are all the actual coverage. This is all the aired hearings. You can watch all those. Those are on the Internet Archive. The internet is forever, kids. Let's just recognize that too. And let's go to, where is it? There's the January 6th full report right there, the final report, which is the same thing. Benny Thompson's site has a bunch of shit on there as well. Let's see. Evidence. Trump judge latest release Jan 6 evidence is heavily redacted. Here's what was included. Final report and supporting documents. There you go. Here, well, this should simplify it. Go away. No evidence. Jan 6 committee destroyed records contrary to online claims. Fact check. Like, it's just silly. Like, you can Google it. Just look it up.
I was so innocent. And like, as an example, this one case that I won't mention names, the person that did that said that it's been totally unconfirmed, right? It's been unconfirmed.
It's been unconfirmed? What, he didn't want to say debunked again? The girl, I don't want to say who her name is, but it's been unconfirmed? Really? By the non-existent girl you're talking about?
The Secret Service agent said, never happened. Never.
Oh, he means Cassidy Hutchinson, the girl. And the Secret Service people redacted all their, or they erased all their texts and did not share them with the committee. And they're also your team. Of course they're going to say that.
Happened. I tell you, first of all, you wouldn't be able to do it.
I worked with him in New York, Bob.
Yeah, Bobby.
And he knows that didn't happen.
Bobby's a tough cookie. Bobby's not going to let somebody grab him. Yeah, you're not grabbing Bobby around.
You're right. That may be a great, like you took them all out.
No, I have a friend that say, why are you...
Okay, that's the other thing too, is Bongholio does this all the time. You jack up the lie to ad absurdum, and then you accuse the other side of suggesting the absurd version of the lie, so they can't bring it up again. It's a lazy debate tactic. It's the shit gallop, I guess, if you'd really think about it. It's just, it's fucking lame is what it is.
Fighting that. Let it be. It doesn't make any difference. Let it be. You beat that crap out of him. It's the coolest thing I've ever heard, right? But I said, let's tell the truth. It never happened. I actually said...
By the way, no, it's not the coolest thing you've ever heard that he would beat up his own security detail who refused to take him to an unsecured area during a fucking riot. Honestly, all it would prove is that he was planning on being part of the attack.
I'd love to go down, remember, peacefully and patriotically. Do you know they don't mention that?
Peacefully and patriotically is his version of don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes. Walk down there, and I'm going to go with you, peacefully and patriotically. But when you get there, if Mike Pence can't do the right thing, if you don't fight, you're not going to have a country anymore. Shut the fuck up. Just because you don't get... It's like saying, don't make any noise till you get there.
Not in any paper.
No, never.
Yes, I do. Right.
Biggest, most important part... peacefully and patriotically. They don't mention that in any...
No, I mention it all the time just to point out what bullshit it is.
Paper in any document in anything. It's crazy.
It's in everything. They literally, like, they have the transcribed speech. And the part of it, interestingly enough, is we're going to walk down there, and I'm going to walk down there with you, was ad-libbed. And the reason it was ad-libbed is because if they'd have put it in the speech, they would have had to got a marching permit, and that would have warned the Capitol they were coming. So they took it out so the sneak attack would work. So the peacefully and patriotically bullshit was basically like tiptoe till you get there.
So anyway, it was all disproven.
No, it wasn't. Bullshit. Fuck you.
Did you know they've destroyed all evidence, right?
Yeah, they destroyed all the evidence.
Now, you're supposed to go to jail if you destroy evidence. Even in a civil case, you go to jail.
No, you don't.
They announced, we have decided to destroy all evidence having to do with the Unselect Committee.
Did they? What date was that exactly? How'd they announce it? On Twitter?
I love the name Unselect because it's called the Select Committee. I call it the Unselect.
Yeah, we understand the play on words. It's dumb. We think it's childish and silly, and we found also it's the lamest version of fucking with their name you could possibly come up with. It's the least creative, least damaging one, right? Like, nobody on there is feeling bad because they were supposed to be on the Select Committee, and now he keeps calling it the Unselect Committee. I thought I was being selected, and I'm being unselected. Like, who gives a fuck? Nobody cares. And it's like, it's so petulant and pitiful and weak sounding, and he wants credit for it. He so beats his chest over this shit, and it's fucking lame. You could give him points for something like, I don't know, even Sleepy Joe or like Crooked Hillary's just kind of lame. But like Little Marco or something, like, it's a dig that will affect people, and it clearly, you know, it brought Marco Rubio to fucking heel like a chihuahua, right? But this is just fucking weak. Nobody cares. Nobody's getting upset. Like, oh, the Unselect. Oh dear. He said the Unselect. Doesn't he realize I'm an important person? Like, and again, it'd be one thing if he just threw those around and he didn't care. If he was just like, you know, those people over at the Unselect Committee, blah, 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 and, you know, MSDNC and blah, blah, blah. He steals those from other people, too. But like, he explained on, what was that show, Flagrant, the podcast he did a little bit ago, where he said, basically, I'm an honest person, and they laughed in his fucking face, and he didn't realize they were laughing at him, not with him. He did the same thing there. He explained unselect versus select. Yeah, we get it. We just don't give a fuck. And it's honestly, people are reacting to it with a shrug, like, yeah, and he thinks they don't understand. Like, he's literally doing a see what I did there. He genuinely thinks they don't get it. It's really cool. And if they only knew, see, it's called this, but I fucking totally did this, yo. Like, that's unbelievably fucking dumb. And he does it all the time. And he does a chunk on it. Like, he wastes fucking like a minute and a half every time he brings it up talking about this. And it's so weird. It's so weak. It's so lame. And he can't stop himself.
committee.
Do you find it weird that the January 6th unselect committee, which I agree is unselect about him?
Ouch. Easy. I'll pass that along to them. I'm sure they'll be brokenhearted, Bongholio.
I find it weird they're not interested about why Kamala Harris was not at the Capitol on January 6th, but was at the DNC when a pipe bomb was outside.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Why doesn't Kamala Harris? They keep saying it's an insurrection. Why doesn't she tell that story?
It's a rigged deal. The whole thing is rigged. 100% rigged.
If you get elected, and we hope that happens.
Oh, okay. So I guess. So the idea is that she knew they were going to let maggots attack the place, so that's why she was at the DNC. And the other thing is, like, they removed her from the other side of the building. She didn't leave out the side where the bombs were, so that proves, I guess, that her detail isn't fucking stupid, but also that they were in on it somehow, that was her in the outfit, right? That wasn't Marjorie Taylor Greene walking around dropping off those flaccid, useless pipe bombs. It was Kamala.
Can you get an answer as to why she was there?
I do believe. Look, this is really corrupt stuff. The other thing is, as you know...
oh, dear. So this is also what happens. He runs out of, like, little, like, buzz moment talking points that he's got kind of stored up. They're like cigarettes in a pack. And he just, like, he knows he's getting down to he's burned this one to the fucking tip, and he's got to light another one. He's like chain smoking lies.
They really won in the Supreme Court, okay, the Fisher case and the various cases. Why are they still being held? Nobody's ever been treated like this.
Oh, okay. So the Jan 6 people won in the Fisher case. No, they did not. No, they fucking did not. Nobody won in the Supreme Court. The people who were actually charged with violence on the day, the Supreme Court is not riding in to fucking rescue these assholes for fucking storming up the stairs, beating cops with their own shields, tasing them nearly to death, breaking their bones, their backs, their hands, fucking stomping another fellow maggot, Roseanne Boylan, to death, essentially, while she was gacked out on fucking meth, you know, redneck Pervitin. And then, you know, and then getting this motherfucker getting Ashley Babbitt shot in the fucking chest by talking her into it. You know, basically that was like Kool-Aid in bullet form. And Jim, you know, Jones over here is the one who talked her into doing it.
Nobody's ever, maybe the Japanese during Second World War, frankly, but, you know, they were held too. But
yeah, they didn't attack the fucking Capitol, you dumb motherfucker. That was just race. That was fear of country of origin and an alignment with the imperial leader of Japan that was almost cult-like. They were concerned that had spread to the Japanese people in the United States, and they were worried that they would turn, not recognizing the varying degree that those people, if they wanted to be under the emperor, they would have stayed there, for example. But that was the reason. That was it was racist, but there was a national security reason for it. But none of these people had ever done any fucking thing. None of them had actually done anything. They were locked up because there was a concern they would. They haven't even locked up all the Jan 6ers that attacked cops physically on that day.
But when you look at Portland and the damage they did and killed people, because other than Ashley, nobody was killed here.
I guess Roseanne Boylan died of natural causes. Is that the idea?
Nobody was killed. And there were no guns involved. And these are all gun owners.
Okay, first of all, yes, there were. There were guns involved. There were guns. Hold on one second, if I may. I should probably just keep this, you know, constantly available. Here we go. Let's see. Gun fired at Capitol. Oops. January 6th. John Banuelos. There he is. Where's the footage? There you get the shot of John Banuelos. Man, there you go. Man charged with carrying gun, loaded firearm, yada, yada. See if we get this guy. No guns that day. Da, da, da. Oh, here you go. First of all, By the way, did these guys, real quick, did these guys look like they are dressed for a rally? Did these guys who walked up into this place in a line, did these guys look like they're dressed just for a Trump rally? Do you wear a fucking flak jacket? Do you wear a body armor and a fucking military helmet? And again, none of these motherfuckers had to have their phones hacked. They broadcast it live to Facebook because they thought they were going to win. And Peckmez says they're just cosplaying. They're not just cosplaying. These motherfuckers planned on killing someone that day. So Banuelos, hold on one second. Let me go back to here real quick. Let's see. And go back here. Boink. Yeah, here we go. There you go. Here you go. Okay, so these include but are not limited to. These are just the people that were discovered. Okay. Lonnie Kaufman of Alabama. Police found multiple firearms and weapons in Kaufman's possession. Kaufman's truck, which he had parked in the vicinity of the Capitol in the morning of Jan 6, was packed with weaponry, including a handgun, a rifle, and a shotgun, each loaded, according to court documents. In addition, the truck held hundreds of rounds of ammunition, several large-capacity ammunition feeding devices, a crossbow with bolts, machetes, camouflage smoke devices, a stun gun, and 11 Molotov cocktails. Court records and video surveillance show that Kaufman, who had ties to militia groups, parked the vehicle near the Capitol at 9:15 a.m. that day. Documents say that after he got out of his pickup truck at 9:20, he joined a crowd of people who walked directly to the Capitol building. He was detained later. The idea was that once they held it, he would go back for arms. Guy Reffitt, Texas, was charged with bringing a handgun onto Capitol grounds. Court documents showed that Reffitt, reported in court documents to be a member of the militia group, the Three Percenters, told his family he brought the gun with him and that he and others stormed the Capitol. Christopher Alberts brought his handgun onto Capitol grounds. An officer saw that Alberts had a gun in his hip and alerted fellow officers. Then Alberts tried to flee. Officers detained him and recovered that loaded handgun along with a separate magazine. The total number of people who carried firearms with them that day were never fully accounted for because the majority of those involved in the siege were not arrested on site, but were tracked down by law enforcement days, weeks, and months later. And that's not even including Banuelos. Now, that's why, hold on one second. Let's go to here. John Banuelos gun, January 6th. So a lot of these people, they weren't detained on the day. Let's see if they got a picture of this dipshit. Yeah, okay, so there he is. Yeah, okay, here you go. This guy. That's him in front of the Capitol with all these fucking guys. That's him showing off his handgun right there. He is not the only person in this group that has a handgun. He's the only person that allowed himself to be filmed with it. He also was climbing up on one of these things. He's got his gun under his jacket there, and he fires it into, let's see if they show it actually. That's him fighting with a bunch of other people. There he is. That's him shooting it into the sky. Hey, look at that J6 footage sign on there. That's funny. So, just straight up bullshit. These are guys who brought guns to the site with the idea that they were going to use them. This is, again, to use a word I don't like, debunked.
You know, these are people that have guns, but they never went to the Capitol with guns.
Yeah, they did. They brought guns to the... Hold on. Bongholio knows they have guns. Trump may have deluded himself, or other people hid it from him, or fucking didn't mention it to him because they thought it might upset him, or he certainly didn't watch the fucking Jan 6 shit, and he hasn't looked at any of the cases of people who've been busted at all. But Bongholio, hey, Dan, you fucking tool. You know there were guns that day. There were guns discharged that day. And not only that, there were people who stole guns from the cops they beat. Who the fuck goes to a rally in body armor, carrying bear spray with knives, by the way, and know that they have a buddy who's in their organization they've been sharing emails with who has a truckload of fucking guns for when the moment comes? They built a fucking gallows.
It's a very sad. I think it's a very sad day in the country's life. Yeah. But here's the end of this. They destroyed and deleted all evidence.
No, they didn't. They didn't even destroy the majority of the evidence, you absolute asshat. The majority of the evidence was live streamed by the participants.
So now we're not going to know.
Again, real quick. Maggots, and I know there's some out there. We have an enormous crowd right now. This is the greatest live stream that's ever happened, and you guys know it. You know it. You know I'm right about this shit. You know I've covered this stuff here, hither and yon. I've brought all the details from the, absolutely devastating, rage-filled bad stuff to the peachy keen things. I've shown you all this stuff. You know it. He might be stupid enough or forgetful enough to just not know that there were multiple guns that day. But Dan Bongino fucking knows this. Dan Bongino used to be in the Secret Service. Dan Bongino knows a bunch of Secret Service fucking guys. And those guys, one of the reasons why they didn't want to take Trump down there was because he had them dismantle the magnetometers because it was slowing down the number of people getting into his rally because a lot of them had guns. And he wanted it that way. That's why they didn't take him. There was no way to fucking secure it. These people are fucking crazy. If they'd have failed, they very well may have killed him in the process. Time to martyr him. We need a new leader. Bang. Like that's in the realm of possibility. And if it isn't, the Secret Service detail that he had at the time should have lost their job too. It's just dumb. I don't honestly believe he doesn't know there were weapons there that day and an organized militia. He's a liar. This is garbage. But I know for sure that Bongino knows. I believe Trump is lying. I know Bongino knows better. Because Bongino is dumb, but he's not smart enough to be stupid.
You know what she said about how I beat the crap out of these two Secret Service agents?
Right.
Nobody says you beat the crap out of anyone. You couldn't beat the crap out of anyone. Nobody believes you would or would ever have the ability to fucking do it. That's what I mean. He surrounds himself with like slight women, so he might, if at some point he needs to beat someone up, there's somebody he thinks he could take, and I doubt he could. I think Cassidy Hutchins could take him.
I was so strong. Yeah. My arm just ripped around those big necks. 24-inch necks. Yeah. I ripped my arm around them and they didn't have a chance.
I ripped my arm around them and they didn't even have a chance. Okay. That's not a sentence either. Nobody talks like that, Mr. fucking Peachy Dory.
No, Dan, can you imagine that?
No, I knew.
But how do...
No one can. That's the point. That's how a lie is constructed.
How do they delete it and destroy it?
They didn't. They don't. You can't. It all exists. It's still there. Nobody did that. You're making it up. Somebody told you. The reason why it's hard to fathom is because it's unfathomable.
Not allowed to do that.
The Secret Service,
they didn't do it.
Deleted the text from that day too, and they said it was a tech transfer. It was not. It's a lie. So if you get elected, I'm really hoping we can get to the bottom. We should.
Do you really? Do you think they deleted those things and didn't hand them over to the Jan 6 committee? The Jan 6 committee didn't delete these things. Fucking Liz Cheney didn't delete these fucking documents, you dumbass. The Secret Service that was with him on that day got rid of their communications about that day. So, sorry. Do you think they got rid of them because it made him look too good?